You're listening to the Craft Messages That Matter podcast. I'm your host, Theo Capodistrius. Grab a coffee, sit back, and enjoy today's episode. Hey, and welcome to another episode of the Craft Messages That Matter podcast, where we delve into the art and science of all things communication, public speaking, and presentation skills. I am Theo Capodistrius, and I'm here to guide you on this journey to become the master communicator. If you are in a corporate job, run a business, or perhaps you're an entrepreneur. Today we're talking about the crucial skill in any communication toolkit, and that is crafting persuasive presentations. Whether you're pitching to a client, maybe you're speaking at a conference or presenting at a team meeting, the principles we're going to explore today are going to elevate your presentation game nextfold, and I can't wait for us to get started. Let's start with a question. What makes a presentation not just good, but persuasive? It's all about connection. Connecting with your audience on an emotional level, understanding their needs, and presenting your message in a way that resonates with them. First, let's talk about knowing your audience. This is the groundwork of any persuasive presentation. Ask yourself, who are they? What are their interests, their fears, their desires? How does your message align with these elements? How does your message align with their goals and the context that you're presenting in? Tailoring your presentation to your audience ensures relevance and massive engagement. Next, the structure of your presentation. A persuasive presentation is like a story. It's got a clear beginning and a middle and an end. The beginning is where you grab that attention. Use that startling fact, a compelling story, or something provocative to get people paying attention to you. The middle is where you build your case. This is where you bring in your key points, you use data, you use anecdotes, you use videos, you use that logical argument stuff. And then at the end, your call to action. What do you want your audience to do after they have heard your message? In the show notes, I have my presentation structure guide, which runs through all of these points in a little more detail, and it's written easily for you to just grab, use, and even replicate so you can have something ready for any of your presentations moving forward. Now, let's dive into the power of storytelling. Stories are the lifeblood of a persuasive presentation. They create the emotional connection and make complex concepts digestible because people are able to relate to the characters in the story. When you tell a story, your audience is more likely to remember your message and feel compelled to act upon it. Now, I'm going to use a fairly negative example, but it's one that I think works. So many times during the COVID-19 pandemic, people would throw science and facts at us. But there were some people who would listen to the stories of other people to say, well, my cousin and sister's brother, they did this thing and this is what happened to them. So perhaps a story in some circumstances can be more powerful than a fact. But of course, it does depend on the audience that you're speaking to. And using both factual information and stories can really help to bring that to life. But a presentation isn't just about what you say, it's also how you say it. Your delivery can make or break the effectiveness of your message. Practice your pacing, your tone, that body language. Be confident, but be yourself. Now, I don't want anyone to force themselves to do a particular hand movement or anything like that. Really, you do have to be yourself, approachable, and think of this as a presentation, as a conversation. When you're thinking about your presentation as a conversation, it allows you to be a bit more relaxed, and then your audience becomes a bit more settled in with who you are. Visual aids can be a really powerful tool, but remember, You don't have to use images if it doesn't fit your presentation. Slides should support your message, not be the message. Using them to illustrate your key points, but not overcrowding them with text or complex graphics is going to be the keeper. And always be prepared to deliver your presentation without them, because technology can fail, but your message shouldn't. I want to finish on the point of handling questions and objections from the audience. This is where your preparation really pays off. Anticipate any potential questions and practice those responses. Addressing any objections confidently shows your expertise and reinforces your message's credibility. Crafting a persuasive presentation is an art. It requires understanding your audience, structuring your message, weaving in storytelling, mastering the delivery, using visual aids effectively, and handling objections with grace. Your goal is to make a connection, for you to be authentic, and to persuade and inspire action. So your voice and your message is the ability to do that. Go out there and smash it! And if you like this episode, please follow or subscribe and give it a rating. Give it a 5 out of 5. We love that, particularly as I'm in the early stages of the pod. To learn more about what I do as a speaker, a trainer, an MC, and a public speaking, communications and presentation coach, head to my website, www.theocap.com.au. Follow the Craft Messages That Matter Instagram page at CMTM_podcast. And of course, follow my personal Instagram page at TheoCap88.